promise I'm wearing a skirt.
Hello, and welcome to Dungeon Date, Episode 2. Sorry, we are a couple of minutes late. These things happen. Anyways, how are you doing, Darcie?
Good.
Good. I'm Christian Hoffer, by the way.
I'm Darcie.
And we are a married couple, and we are going to be playing through a one-on-one Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So, Darcie, what did we do last time?
Oh, jeezy. So my character, Estelia, finally came home from years away. She's gotten to meet some family and friends whom she's missed, as well as somehow get roped into finding a missing weapon that went missing the night before her arrival. So I believe I know someone that stole it. So we'll see where this goes.
So, when we last left off, the reported thief of this missing weapon, a mysterious drow figure, departed the Whale Meat Inn in the company of your childhood friend Charles Vidal, who previously had greeted you from your 6-year absence away from your home city of Olafaren, and offered to throw you a party to celebrate your return. So, you unfortunately were not able to catch the thief of this weapon, but you mentioned to your other childhood friend, Nephahilda, who is of a house censor, another rival house of yours, that you might know a way to infiltrate the Vidal estate. So we pick up there.
Okay. So, basically said, I think I know how we can get in there, and that's where we left off, right?
Yeah.
Are we still at the inn?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So, Nephahilda, who is a dwarf with bronze skin and blonde ponytails that are neatly tied around her chin, kind of looks at you and she goes, well, go on, lass.
So Charles had offered to throw a welcome home party for me. And if that was in fact Charles that I saw there, I noticed his signet ring was very similar to Charles. So we could perhaps get into Charles' house during this party.
How are we going to get in contact with him?
Oh, I'll find a way. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, I will leave you to it then. You let me know how that goes, and if that doesn't work, we'll have to make alternative means.
Okay. And then I guess I'll ask her if she's staying to drink for the night, or if she's completed her business here.
She's like, well, this is my home base, but if they realize that we're here, we might need to pick a different location. So I'll be about. I'll find you.
Okay. Sounds good. Nice to see you again.
Pleasure,
and congrats
as always.
on being legit now.
As legit as a blade can be.
Yeah, understand.
So she looks at you and then kind of waits for you to depart while she attends to her other business. So outside is your associate, Kieran, who was just assigned to you and went chasing after Charles. Unsuccessfully, I might add.
Charles is pretty quick, I guess.
Well, they did depart on a carriage, and so Kieran is just, out of breath, and he's like, their carriage waiting out there for him. They just, jumped in and kept going. It was kind of impressive.
Are you out of shape there, lovebird?
No, you chase a carriage.
Did he have any reaction to the lovebird?
He kind of gives you, a weird look there, but he's mainly, out of breath, too out of breath to really, acknowledge, the little insult there.
Okay. Well, I don't know much about him, so I'm trying to figure that out kind of play a little bit at how sensitive it is, how sensitive of a matter it is. So.
Good to know.
Okay, well, I guess let's go. Let's go back. Let's go home.
Okay, and so the two of you depart back to your luxurious manor on the, what was it? I believe it's the eastern edge of the city. I could be wrong there. Hold
on. Easternest part of the city.
That's right. I remember my geography. So you return...
That you made.
Yes. So you return home. Is there anything that you'd like to do tonight, or
what time of night is it?
It's probably about 10 p.m. or so.
It's been a busy day. We've traveled, we've arrived, we've done investigations. So I'll probably head to bed.
Okay.
Kieran, you're excused for the night.
It's like, oh, good. I guess I will make my way back to the quarters. Am I supposed to... I'll figure it out. I probably should find the kobold anyways.
Good idea.
Okay, and so he's like, I guess this was an interesting first day.
This is your first day too?
You saw me get hired this morning, officially.
Oh, that was literally you getting...
Yeah, no,
hired.
I've been waiting for your father for several days now. When I was... let's just say, involuntarily ejected from Haven, thanks to your uncle. I went and made my way straight here because, who can overrule your uncle? Your dad can. So
My uncle?
Yes, your uncle. This is your father's brother. His name is Oren. And he has, he has a single daughter whose name is Eleanor.
I have too many papers. So we have Oren and Eleanor. Okay. So, why did Oren kick you out of this haven?
He kind of looks. He's like, looks at you for a second. He's like, I guess, you probably relate to this. I'm a half elf, just like you, and your uncle has peculiar thoughts about us, especially when it comes to his daughter. And let's just say he didn't take too kindly to me proposing to her, and that's how I got...
You didn't think to ask first.
Is that something that nobles are supposed to? I really...
Yes.
Really don't know.
You need to get permission to even start dating her.
Dating?
Courting.
Well...
You should never have courted her to be able to propose to her.
Well, I wish I would have known that about a week ago. Anyways, yeah. So my goal, and don't take this the wrong way, is to move on from this assignment to something a little bit more, I don't know, something that I can prove myself with, to prove that I'm a good fit for your house, and that, I don't know.
So you want to prove something to my father?
Yes, your father, if there's one person who can overrule your uncle, it's him. So I just have to, I guess, make a good impression.
Okay. Well, I guess just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe, do a little bit more working out so next time you can catch them.
He's like, it was a carriage.
Just saying.
And kind of storms off after that. So, what else? Is there anything else?
Just eat some yummy food and relax, lounge in my bed.
Okay. It's your bedroom.
Is it comfy?
I mean, it's your bed is smaller than you remember it.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind
That's
of your...
depressing.
It's your, like, childhood bed. I mean...
I feel like I should have, like, a beautiful big bed.
You're the illegitimate half-daughter of a noble. I
True.
mean, they gave you a decent-sized room
That's
for
true.
for what you are. But, let's not forget, it's about half the size of your sister's.
It's like when you go home and your room's just, like, tiny.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So maybe you might want to ask for a bigger bed or get like
I'll
two
sleep here
twins.
for the night. I'll sleep here for the night.
Push them together.
I'll ask tomorrow.
So I'm trying to think. So you are actually woken up pretty early the next morning by banging on the door. And it appears to be, it's Tarl, your uncle and the guard of House Olafaren, who is technically your superior. So he's just banging away, and you turn, and it's barely sunrise. If that.
Okay. Open the door.
And
Yes.
he's like, well, what'd you find?
In regards to...
You know exactly what.
Oh, the weapon?
Yes.
Oh, well, does it have to be right now?
A blade does not sleep, Estelia. You might be... I don't know what you were up to for the last 6 years in paradise, which actually is the name of your vacation home. But here, when I ask you a question, I expect an answer.
Okay. I believe that it was taken
Well, we know that.
by a... What was the race?
Drow.
Individual?
He's like, so how's Censor then?
No. I believe there might be some affiliation with another house, House Vital.
And he kind of looks and he's like, well, that's foolish of them. Well...
But I know some members of House Vital. So do you mind if I take the next step in trying to get welcomed into the house in order to do a little bit of investigation before we march on in?
What do you propose?
Well, Charles had invited me to... He had invited to host a welcome home party for me, and I had originally declined. Just too many people. However, I think it's the perfect time for anyone that we would like to come welcome me home to be entering into their house welcomed. We can bring in some of our own guards. We can bring in some of our own blades. We can bring in yourself, for example, just as a welcome home, Estelia, but to peruse the individuals there and get a few more hints as to why this was stolen and who has it in their possession.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, first roll of the night. Yeah, we'll try this one. Ooh, critical one!
Oh, yikes. So he just stares at you for, like, just totally disbelieving. It's like, so you mean to tell me that your grand plan is to have one of your buddies who is a known partier and ne'er-do-well to throw you a party, and that is your grand plan. He's like, my God, that's one of the most stupidest, ridiculous. And he's like, I cannot believe you, girl.
I'm gonna leave the door open and start getting ready. So, like...
At this point in time, he starts shouting at you, and he's like, don't you turn your back on me.
Well, I'm trying to get ready so that I can be of service to you.
And
as you said, a blade never sleeps.
At this point, your sister, Nalani, who's just got, like, terrible bedhead, and she is basically like you in real life, not a morning person. So she goes and kind of, like, stumbles forward, and she's like, what is the racket? Why yelling? Why? And she just looks at Tarl, and she's like, why? And it's like, and he's like, well, your sister wants to throw a party. And she's like,
I want Charles to throw the party for us. Remember how we suggested that we have a welcome home party?
Yes.
And for some reason, what do I call him? What's...
Who?
Jarl.
Jurl.
Tarl, I mean.
Oh, Tarl? You just call him Tarl.
Sir Tarl?
No, he's just
No,
Tarl.
just Tarl. Tarl thinks that this is a bad idea.
Well, it's an oddly irrelevant idea for so early in the morning. Why party? Why yelling?
He came in and started asking me about yesterday, so I just was telling him.
And she's like looking, and Tarl sighs, and he's just like, your sister believes that House Vital has the weapon that was stolen from our ship. And her grand plan is to let Charles Vital use our house's name to better himself in society once again, because, as you know, he's currently working on a fishing fleet with your family as well. All in the absurd hope that the weapon is actually being stored on at
Not
their
just
compound.
stored, so that we can question individuals of our elite houses.
And
Any of them could have been the ones that had put an offer in on it.
And Nalani just is like, and she's just like, rubs her eyes a little bit. And she's like, I don't think this is the worst idea.
See? Party!
And Tarl's just like, if this goes poorly, it's on your head, girl. You have 3 days.
3 days. Okay.
And he turns and he goes, how certain are you that the weapon is with the Vitals?
As of last night, very certain.
I will send several blades to keep an eye on any coming and going. Make sure that no one
Make
tries
sure they're not seen, though. I believe that he already thinks someone is after him. And I don't want us to raise more suspicion.
Does he think it was you?
No, I didn't let him see me.
And he's like, by the way, I heard you found Jurl. So
Yeah, I found Jurl.
you're not an absolute waste.
Oh, that's the first compliment you've ever given me.
That wasn't a compliment. And he storms off, and as he leaves, you hear him shout, 3 days!
Okay.
Okay, so, so how are you going to get into contact with
First
Charles?
thing, I'd like to usher Nalani back to bed.
She's like, oh God. She's like, it's barely sunrise.
Go back to bed.
So much yelling. Is every day
He's
going
gone.
to be like this?
I think I'm going to ask Father to move me to a room better suited for this new position.
She's like, yes, in out quarters, if there's going to be more yelling. Not that I don't want you in the house, of course, but, God,
Or at least
yelling.
down another hallway.
Okay, and she just kind of goes back into...
I'll get ready, and I'll send a messenger once people start arriving
Okay.
at the house that
Just
morning.
a generic messenger, or would you like to send Kieran or Teef, or...
I don't trust Teef with a message.
That would be fair.
Kieran was there last night, so he may recognize him, so I'd rather not send him.
Okay. So a generic messenger, that's pretty easy.
Messenger from the house, yeah.
That's easy enough to do. So you send off a messenger. It only takes like about 2 hours for you to receive a response. The same messenger comes back with just a like nod, and he's kind of looks a little bit frazzled. He's like, Mr. Charles Vital was very enthusiastic about it. He says the party will be held in 2 nights hence.
Aw, I don't know if I'll be available then. Would you mind going back and take your time? You don't have to run. Would you mind asking him if we can do it 1 night hence?
Of course.
I have a feeling that Taro will have me doing something else at that point.
It's like,
And I don't want to let our friend down and not attend my own party.
Of course, Lady Estelia. And he's like,
Thank you. I'll tip him.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So, so the messenger returns 2 hours later with an embossed invitation, like very quickly made, and you actually see like the date, and it's scratched off.
Aww.
And it's like tomorrow evening. It
Yay.
is. Shall I have? And he kind of like thinks for a second, and he's like, I'm just a servant, but do you even have proper ball clothes or?
No.
Oh God. And so he's like, I'll get some help. So
Thank
a
you.
little while later, some other staff goes and like immediately starts like measuring you up, and like the lead seamstress is literally just staring at you, like glaring, just looking daggers. She's like, one night to prepare
I don't
a.
need anything elegant. I just need something
and,
that's like...
and she's looking a to greet the returning jewel from the sea. And she turns around, and sure enough, on the invitation, Charles has referred to you as the jewel of the sea. He's like, nothing elegant for the jewel of the sea. Of course, yes, just a simple thing befitting for And she kind of looks at you. She's like, half royalty.
Fair.
She's like, oh God, I'm going to be up all night. Your father will hear of this. But she takes your measurements anyways. Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
Can we go shopping?
Yes, what would you like to shop for?
I didn't get that far. I didn't know whether you'd say yes. So I have my cloak. Am I able to get it enchanted, or does that have to be something that was done while it was being created? Or they could always just sew that magical pocket into whatever next one, right?
No. The cloak is the bag of holding.
Oh. Never mind then. I mean, I just have basic leather armor, so maybe I'll get like whatever I can have, studded leather armor or something a little bit nicer.
Mm-hmm. Just so you want studded leather armor? You're asking for an upgrade 2 sessions in to...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's going to,
It's going to take a couple weeks.
It will.
Oh,
it will definitely
no.
take a couple of weeks. You are not upgrading that easily. This is what happens when I tell you you're a noble and that money is no object.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, you just bashed my shopping trip. Maybe some potions of healing?
Easy enough to obtain. Yeah, you can... We'll say you come away with 2 that you place inside the bag of holding.
Okay. How nice is my, bag of holding cloak?
You kind of get the sense, like, as you look at it, it almost seems to, like, fit whatever you're wearing.
Ooh.
So not enough to, like, disguise you, but at times
it's
looks...
appropriate enough for me to wear to House Vital.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, it is not a cheap cloak by any stretch of the imagination. No. It is, hardy looking.
Okay.
But, thank you. Sorry, I was like getting the twitches when you put it by my computer. Anyways,
I'll just put it up here by the dragons. It's fine.
That's fine. I don't care. Just
I was gonna put it here, but.
All right. Anyways.
Cool.
Back to the stream. So you get 2 potions of healing.
Okay.
Your cloak is fine.
Beautiful.
Anything else?
She'll fit me with shoes, right?
Yes, that comes. She was glaring.
But are they giving me like high heels or just nice boots?
You'll have to find out.
Because I'd really just like nice boots.
Okay, you put in a request in for nice boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
No heel.
Yeah, no heel?
Yeah.
Okay, don't want to get an ankle injury.
No. I also want to be able to sneak if I need. So like a soft-soled
Yeah, fair.
boot.
That's fair.
Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Okie
Course.
dokie.
Anything else?
Just visit with my friends probably.
Okay.
Visit with Ellie, because I haven't seen her in forever. Maybe go harass my sister a little bit.
Okay. So with Ellie, interestingly enough, she's kind of busy doing ardent duties for most of the day. However, in the evening, you do see her staring off to the south in the direction of the sacred flame. So you find her kind of just staring at what, appears almost to be like a star, shining to the south, and she's just kind of looking up at it concernedly.
What's wrong?
Do you think the sacred flame looks a little dimmer?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't been here to really watch it over the last couple of years.
It's just like, that's true. That's a fool's question. I don't know.
Why would you say it looks dimmer?
It seems just to shine a little less bright these days. Maybe it's just a trick of my imagination. I don't know. It just I just get the most unsettling feeling. I don't know. Maybe it's just because my responsibilities to the Cold Lord, and maybe it's because I just don't look at the flame as much as I used to. I just kind of noticed these, for a few weeks, maybe a couple months. I don't know. And she just kind of like looks at it concernedly.
I'm gonna sit next to her and look at it. And
so,
do I remember because I saw it when I was coming in.
Yeah.
And I remember it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a part of your life. The sacred flame just kind of...
It's always been there.
It's always been there, and it's still shining. It doesn't really look any different to you. It glows a pale blue. Like I said, from this distance, it basically looks like a star. Just kind of moving, slightly twinkling. Doesn't seem any different to you.
Okay.
So she just looks and she just looks concerned, and she's like, I don't know. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sorry for even bugging you with such silliness.
Okay.
How did last night go, by the way?
Not the best, but I think we know a little bit more about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Charles still hates me. He thinks all my ideas are bad.
Well,
but I didn't really do much to earn his respect today, so...
Well, I mean, your... Nilani's mother and her family has really never gotten over, well, you. I wouldn't take it too personally.
Yeah. Also, all of the seamstresses hate me, too.
Is it because of the party?
Are you coming?
Well, and she kind of like, I stopped by your house, and she stopped by your room a little while earlier, and she pulls out the invitation, and she's like, it does say +2, actually.
That sounds wonderful. I would love to bring you.
Excellent. I have a dress pair of ardent robes.
Ooh,
that basically look exactly like these ardent robes.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't gotten a chance to wear them, so I would love to.
That's wonderful.
Who's going to be your other one? Is it going to be that Kieran fellow? I saw the two of you seemed pretty chummy.
He's interested in my cousin.
Eleanor?
Yeah.
Well, give it time.
No, he kind of broke customs in order to propose to her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what about Charles then?
It's at Charles's house.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh. She's like, what? I'm an ardent. I need to live vicariously through somebody.
Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe we can help Kieran with my father's, like, good blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can pair him and Eleanor up.
Oh, yes, your stuffy cousin, Joy. So much fun.
They like each other a lot.
Do we know that?
I mean, they were courting without permission by her father.
Oh, well, that does sound a little bit scandalous. That sounds a little bit more acceptable.
Yeah, doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah, sure. I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't really care too much about your cousin. But you, on the other hand, I did hear there is a new somebody in town, very, very handsome. He's all the talk, well, about everybody.
What's his name?
Hamlin Flouse.
Hamlin Flouse?
Yes, he is apparently just arrived in the city, came across the Great Sea. Nobody knows why he's here. It's all quite mysterious, but he apparently is very good looking and also very wealthy. So, you could always go and, who knows, maybe he has this mystery weapon. Maybe you should go and inspect his mouth with your mouth and find out.
Let's focus on my actual agenda for at least the next 3 days, because that's as long as Taro will give me.
And then we'll focus on...
We'll reassess that later.
Okay. What? And she's just like...
I'm just going to pat her on the back.
She's like, sweetheart...
I'll meet you tomorrow morning.
Of course. You were on a desert island for 6 years. You need to have some company. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not your great uncle or crabs.
Okay.
They were big crabs. She's kind of
getting
like,
weird. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to do and what to say to him right now.
crabs. Okay, so she leaves.
Okay, Ellie. See you tomorrow? Do you want to meet at my house and get ready?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So you go. That is Ellie. Nalani is very busy. But she does make a note that she also received an invitation to the party.
Oh, wonderful.
As you guys kind of like catch up before you turn in for the next night. She does say that she has also brought a +1. And she's like, there is one other thing. Your associate? What do we call Teef?
I don't know.
He was complaining very loudly about the sun today.
I haven't actually seen him today.
Well, that's because he walked outside, started screeching upon seeing the sun, and immediately was in a corner, and something about how it's just been 2 days of torture was something about a bath. And then the sun. Could you take care of that?
I'll go check on him. I didn't realize me telling him to go get cleaned up was a torture mechanism.
Well, he is a kobold. I mean, I've never met one, but I've heard stories.
Do they not bathe?
I don't know. Do lizards bathe?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we should find out. Maybe you should find out. And maybe we could stop the screeching because, right after I managed to fall back asleep, the screeching started. It was very loud. I'm surprised you didn't hear it.
Nope. I was visiting Ellie and people and getting yelled at by some seamstresses about my dress.
Oh, yes, your dress. Of course. Well, that's fine. I will, yes, please talk to your kobold.
Okay.
And she's like, well, I look forward to going to Charles's party with you. It will be interesting.
Who's your +1?
Father actually asked me to speak to you about it, to ask who your +1 was, because if it wasn't Kieran, I'm to bring him.
Oh, but what if I bring Kieran?
Then I am to bring the kobold.
Oh.
So who's going to be my date to the party? Kieran or the kobold?
Well, I guess we have to bring Teef, don't we?
That is what I've been told. Apparently, this is some sort of mission involving you being a blade.
Yeah.
And so I'm supposed to be accommodating of this, and that means that I can't actually have a social life. Which is fine.
I'll let you have... As much as I want to bring Kieran, I'll let you take Kieran. He's much more...
Thank God.
Appropriate.
Yes, I mean, he's not the worst to look at either.
Now, he needs to be well received by all the nobles, okay?
Yes, I'm not going to let my escort look like a slob. You just make sure the kobold is well received with the nobles.
Do my best. At this point, I'm going to run down to the seamstresses and be like, I know you hate me. Can you make a little suit for a little tieflin?
You mean a kobold?
Kobold? Yeah, that's what I meant.
Just like, they all kind of look at each other. It's like, where is the kobold?
He's currently hiding in the barracks.
Bring him to me so we may measure him. And they're all just staring at you.
I will not ask for anything else anytime soon.
You say that now. Lies.
Thank you.
Lies.
Just gonna back out of the room.
Back in town for one day. You do get a catch of the dress, and it appears to be just kind of something like a little bit almost silky and shimmering.
Ooh.
Which is pretty interesting.
Ooh.
I'm
intrigued. I'll go find Teef.
Teef is currently huddled in the barracks, which is not located too far away from the main house. You show up at the guards' barracks, and like the guards literally just like point you into like a room where like you find Teef like huddling, and he's like, "Oh, mistress."
Hey, Teef, and I like crouch down. How's it going, buddy?
No one told Teef that it would be so hard. The bath, it was terrible, so wet.
You guys don't bathe?
From time to time we get wet, yes.
So when I meant go take a bath and get cleaned up, whatever your culture's getting cleaned up is appropriate.
So...
You don't have to take like an elf bath.
Noted. And then the sun, it was bright, so bright it hurt my eyes. It was cloudy. When we landed, I thought clouds were every day. But no, just awful. So bright.
You guys didn't have sun back home on the island?
Make a nature check for me.
+2. 13.
Okay. You would know, based on your readings over the last few years, kobolds have a sensitivity to sunlight.
I'm gonna go buy you a hat.
Much appreciated.
Do you like any certain colors?
He looks down. Red.
Would black be appropriate too, if I can't find red?
Whatever the mistress wants, as long as it covers my poor eyes.
Would you like to come with me, and I can, I'll go get a cloak that we can put over your head?
He just nods.
Okay. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do. Is it later today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Well, what does the mistress demand?
Relax. Take some nice kobold breaths.
And smoke comes out.
Does that feel better?
Another bath.
What?
You forcing me to take another bath?
No. I said breath.
Oh. What are we doing tomorrow, mistress?
Let me get my cloak. I'll be right back. I'm going to
Okay.
go retrieve a cloak and bring it to him and, like, tuck it up. And I'm going to have him, like, I'm sure it's way too long for him. So I'm going to have him just hold it, like this.
Now, by this point in time, it is, like, dark out. But,
Okay.
everyone kind of notices you taking the huddled up thing. And, like, as soon as you leave the barracks, the door slams behind you guys.
So, Teef, I am going to bring you to a party tomorrow. It's where a lot of people gather in celebration. Did you guys ever celebrate something on the island?
Successful hunts.
Yes. How did you guys celebrate those?
Pulls out his flute.
You played music? Can you show me right now?
Sure. Makes a performance check. It's okay. Like, for a kobold, it's a pretty good tune.
So,
And he's kind of like doing like a little jig.
very nice. I like the jig.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tomorrow, though, other people will be playing the music. It's not your job to play the music. It's just your job to accompany me. You need to just stay right by me, and I will tell you exactly what to do. Don't say too much. Just exist and look nice. They're making you a nice kobold suit.
Suit.
A suit. Dress clothes. Nice clothes.
And he kind of like looks down, and he is like wearing like a belt,
Uh-huh.
and that's like basically it.
Uh-huh.
And he's like,
You might feel a little stiff, but you'll get used to it.
more torture. Teeth.
No torture. No torture.
To
Just
ensure the safety of my tribe, I will do what the mistress desires.
Hey, Teef. And I'm like holding his head. It's okay. This is not torture. I have to dress in stuffy clothes too.
Torture for us all. Alright, so...
We go and buy him a hat.
Alright, so you don't really need to go and buy him a hat. You take him down to the seamstresses. And,
Oh, Jesus. I just told them I wouldn't ask for anything else. That's why I went to buy a hat.
Okay, well, all the hat shops are closed at this hour in the evening.
We'll go tomorrow.
Okay. So you bring him down, you get him fitted. Luckily, it does appear that they have
I
some,
needed
like,
to get him fitted.
Yeah,
Whoops.
they had some, like, small children's suits that could be easily adjusted. The following morning, you find a pretty, actually, like, a big, wide, it looks huge on him. A black hat, wide brim. It like comes out to like here on him, and yeah, so he looks very interesting, but he seems to be soothed.
Oh, does this feel better, bud?
The sun does not hurt my eyes, so yes.
That's wonderful.
So he's and also he kind of like stares longingly at like what appear to be a like sunglasses, basically, like a little.
Oh, they have sunglasses?
Yes, they do.
We will buy him a pair of sunglasses.
Once again, a little large. It would be like when our son wears our sunglasses. But you know, with a little bit of customization, maybe after all of this is done. So now you have a kobold in a hat with sunglasses. So cool. This is Dungeons and Dragons for you people. Yeah. So, the following evening, is there anything else that you'd like to do?
I guess I'll go talk to Kieran.
Okay.
Where would he be staying?
He would actually also be staying at the barracks.
Okay.
When you go to visit him, he is already getting prepared. You notice that he appears to have some sort of like leather armor, and he's trying to put like dress clothes over it. And he's not having the best luck, and so he's like kind of like going like this when you come in, and he's like, "Hey, so party."
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, could you do you mind?
Yeah.
And so.
And I go button him up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're going with Nalani.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a lot of interactions with my sister?
No. She's the heir apparent to House Olafaren. Yeah, no.
My sister.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's certainly a way to describe
Used to have
her.
elves, and I point to my ear as I say that.
Yes.
It's all good.
Yeah, sure.
Why are you so nervous?
I party with nobles. Party with your sister, the heir apparent to House Olafaren.
Escort. Yeah, you're her escort.
Also, I'm also apparently not allowed to have weapons, which is weird. What are we supposed to be doing at this party anyways?
Who said that you couldn't bring weapons?
He pulls out the invitation and it says no weapons on it.
You didn't tell me that. How did I not see that before?
You didn't read the invitation.
Oh.
You didn't ask what was on the invitation.
Okay. So what I get for not asking questions? Well, I'll bring a hidden blade or something.
You do have your cloak. That is a bag of
Oh
holding.
yeah, I have my cloak. I will bring weapons for you. What would you like me to bring?
And he gives you what appears to be a very nice sword.
Do I have my cloak on?
You
Probably don't.
do you?
I probably don't.
Okay.
It's a nice day out, so I'll just carry it.
Okay.
So relax. Nalani is wonderful. Just act like a proper noble escort.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Keep your face very calm. Chin up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Chin up.
Mm.
Straightforward. And arm out. A little bit further down. She's not that tall. Just like that. Only talk when someone asks you a question and don't say too much.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
You'll be fine.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'll see you. I take it we're going to take a carriage.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you at the carriage. Okay. And then I'm going to run to my dad real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What was that look for?
Nothing.
Run to my dad's office.
Mm-hmm.
Is he available?
Sure.
He doesn't have to be.
He is. Why not?
Knock on the door.
Okay.
Hey.
It's like, oh, yes, Estelia. You haven't gotten ready yet for your party.
Nope.
Which is apparently a ruse of some sort. Tarl told me it was the height of folly. Be honest with me, Estelia. Are you just, is this blade work, or are you just trying to enjoy life back here? And
Blade work. I originally declined the invitation for a party until I believed that House Vital was the one that has our weapon that's missing. And this, I believe, is the perfect ruse to get welcomed into the home, to do a little bit of investigation, not just of the property, but of the members of House Vital.
it does feel a bit concerning that both my daughters will be going in there with only a handful of escorts. I heard that the kobold will be accompanying you, as will Kieran. Well, I actually insisted that Kieran come along. We need one competent hand, and I thought it would be a bit peculiar if I sent one of my either established blades or your uncle. So, do you know anybody else that will be there? You're walking into enemy territory, basically, with little support. I hope you know what you're getting yourself into.
I hope so, too. I didn't check with some of my other old friends, but I'm hoping to see some old friends.
I did hear...
And then Ellie's coming.
Well, Ellie, I'm sure she will come in handy if you get stabbed. That will be useful.
Supposedly no weapons here.
Yes, of course, no weapons. Even more he seems pretty nervous. He's like, speaking of old friends, one of your old friends is actually waiting in your room. The dwarven girl, Nefelda.
Oh, is she coming?
She does appear to be very finely dressed, so it would not surprise me.
Speaking of rooms, Nalani was woken by Tarl today. I know it's not appropriate for me to go and stay in the barracks, but am I able to stay somewhere, either in the house or in the outside buildings, somewhere that maybe has a bed that might fit me a little bit better?
I could move you into your mother's room. It's not like it's being used. That would be the only other available bedroom within the main house. And do not take this the wrong way, but I wish to keep you in the main house. It has protections in place.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. Is there anything else, daughter?
No, I guess I should go get ready.
Yes. Well, have a good time, and I hope that everything goes smoothly for both of our sakes. Please do not embarrass House Olafaren. I know that you will try not to, but this is your first time in many years being in noble society, and the five houses are not always kind to each other, especially when they perceive weakness. So do not show weakness.
I will do my best, Father. I walk up and give him a kiss on the cheek, and then walk out.
Okay.
To go get ready.
Okay. So, in your room is both a very elegant, shimmering, pale green dress that matches your colors. It does seem to have a level of practicality to it. Beautiful. Surprisingly enough, maybe somebody put a word in that you might not just be going for partying. So at first it looks like very flowy, but you kind of notice that you actually have like a lot of room to maneuver, and that the skirt, oddly enough, won't seem to get too much in the way. It like seems to just kind of flow in just the right places.
Beautiful.
Also, Nefelda is there.
Hi.
And she's like, that's a lovely dress.
Thank you. They made it for me for this, I guess.
She's like, so, and she has two things for you. The first is a map of the House Vital compound. She's like, so, luckily I got an invite as well. So, there's a couple of different key things here. The house is 2 stories, the main house, and there are several outbuildings. Now, I heard a rumor that one of the houses is, or that one of the outbuildings has some sort of secret compound. So that's where I'm going to be focusing my attentions on. The other possibility, of course, is the second floor. To be honest, I don't know how well guarded it is, but that I figure our best chances is if we split up.
Okay. I think I might be missed if I were to leave the party too long, so I will definitely take that second floor while you do the outbuilding. I'll have a couple people to accompany me. Will you have anyone?
Oh, yes, and she's like, the dwarf that I was with last night.
Okay, good.
And the other thing, and she goes and she hands you a sending stone. She's like, if you get into a nip, I know, she kind of's like, I'm not the biggest fan of dragging you into this, to be honest. I've had years of training, and, well, you haven't, so, just, if anything happens, slightest nick of trouble, you just go and talk into the stone, and I'll come running.
Okay. Do I know that she's a blade?
Yes, she has her blade, her ceremonial dagger visible.
Okay. I still do not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have all my little stuff in my bag of holding cloak.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, I will keep this in my pocket, and I just put it in my pocket.
Okay. Cool.
What do my shoes look like?
They're pale green leather boots.
Oh, interesting.
That come up almost to your knees.
Okay.
So, not enough to impede mobility,
Yeah.
but, they're almost like shin guards, kind of.
So it's not a full-length dress, or it is?
It's...
Mostly. Okay.
Especially, I'll be 100% honest, my my fashion sense.
Yes.
It's crap. So, whatever you would like.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I guess we should probably go.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be late. Where's Ellie? Because she was supposed to meet me here earlier today.
She's waiting for you at the front of the house.
Okay.
The carriage has been drawn up. There is Kieran. He looks kind of a little beefy at the moment because of the armor that's underneath him. And Teef, who is still wearing his hat, his spectacles, even though it is sunset at this point, and a very fine suit.
I'm going to take his hat and hand it to one of the servants. He doesn't need that right now.
And he's kind of like droops his shoulders a little bit. You also notice that the arms to his suits have been cut off, so that he has full use of his arms. It appears to have been the seamstresses did. It's not like they were ripped off.
Oh,
at
okay.
least.
I was like, cool. Chief, do you have your weapon?
And he does, in fact, have his dagger, which, on him, and he kind of slowly hands it to you. And he gives you his spear, slowly hands it to you. And then he goes and kind of like pulls out like several, like a sling and a bag of stones and hands it to you. And then he takes a bag and it just has a vague smell to it, and he hands it to you.
What is in that?
You do not wish to know, mistress. If you look inside, it is too late.
What?
Nothing. And he grins. Very fake.
I'm gonna make sure it's really tied closed and put it in my bag.
Okay. It's like, what?
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Do I still smell it? Because it's in the bag of holding, so it's like a vacuum seal.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
It's a strange, pungent smell that you don't recognize, but yeah. So you make your way.
I'm just seeing which ones are rolling better.
Oh yes,
That's
of course. So you make your way to into the carriage, and the five of you set off. Ellie looks like pretty happy about going. Kieran is very awkward, and Teef is actually just like sitting on Nalani's lap, and Nalani is just staring at you the entire time. As like every time there's a bang and you see the little kobold bounce up and down on her lap, and she's just staring at you.
Why did I let him get on her lap?
You didn't let him. He simply just climbed onto
it. Okay.
And so the it's very
I'm just gonna kind of like
awkward silence.
So, is everyone excited?
For the torture, yes. And like Nalani's just like staring at you.
Remember, Teef, don't talk unless I tell you it's okay to talk, right?
Silence, yes.
Silence, yes.
There's another one.
Right, Kieran?
Kieran's like, yes, silence. Cool.
That's how the nobles do it. They're stuck up. We're not as stuck up. But you can blend in better if you're just quiet.
And
just nod and go with their pompous ideas.
And Nalani's just kind of like looking at you like, they're not that bad.
We'll show her my half elf ear.
Some of them are not that bad.
Okay.
a few of them are not that bad.
Uh-huh.
So you make your way to the Vital compound.
Okay.
It is significantly smaller than your than House Olafaren. However, it looks like relatively new. Like, you kind of get the sense that several renovations have recently been made. The outside of the building is surrounded by a wrought iron fence, each of which appears to be topped with a spike that resembles like some sort of plant. Like, some are wheat, other appears to be corn. Each one is a different kind of grain or edible plant.
Okay. They're the farmers, right?
Yes, they are the farmers. Part of the reason, as you approach, Nalani notes that part of the reason why the compound is so much smaller is they have a major farm that is just outside the city, and that it wasn't until Charles moved in about 6 months ago that this house was starting to be regularly used. Otherwise, before that, it was just kind of like, basically, when there was some sort of social function in town and people, a member of House Vital or one of their, guests needed a place to stay, this was the house where they stayed at. It was basically like a
fancy guest house.
Yeah, very fancy guest house. So the actual house is built around a courtyard, and that appears to be where the party is held at. Okay. Give me a quick perception check.
10.
Okay. With the 10, you notice about a dozen or so guards that are kind of like patrolling the grounds. You do notice several outbuildings. A couple appears to be servants' quarters. There appears to be a stable of some kind. The courtyard itself has several exotic fruit trees that, you actually recognize one or two of them as being tropical, which is a little bit unusual. So you get the sense that either Charles planted them there, knowing that they probably would not survive the winter, or there's some sort of magic at play. You also notice that the entire house, you walk into this like great hall, which opens then up into the courtyard, which is where the party is going on, and that the bulk of the adornments all seem to have like a food motif. The bulk of it is different types of plants, different types of fruits and vegetables. You see like marble or stone cornucopia sculptures here and there.
Okay.
You do see a couple of livestock, like livestock heads, like built
Weird.
into the side, and even like the occasional fish. In the main ballroom, so when you walk in, there's the Great Hall, and then there's the courtyard, and then there is the ballroom on the other side of the courtyard.
Okay.
And then there are smaller, but probably like the kitchens or a couple of waiting rooms, things of that nature, kind of line the sides on this angle. But you do notice that in the ballroom is a very large portrait, and you recognize at least one of them. It's Charles Vital's father, and he's sitting. It's a very fine looking portrait, and it's massive. And so there's there's the head of House Vital, and he's kind of sitting there, surrounded by the bounties of nature. And behind them is a man who appears to be older than Charles by several years, and 3 or 4 small children sitting at their feet.
None of them are Charles.
None of them are Charles.
Aww. Okay.
And you can kind of get there's definitely a running family resemblance that they're definitely close relatives of Charles.
Okay.
But yeah.
Half siblings. Possible.
Either that or older siblings.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
So there's about 50 or so people here.
Okay.
So Nalani kind of like points out a few people. A lot of them appear to be merchants that are actually associated with House Vital. She also points out a couple of boat makers that are probably here trying to catch Nalani or Charles's ear for their upcoming fishing fleet. So the party itself, of course, has a sea theme. Not too many people appear to be following it, but all the decorations, you see a couple of seahorses, a few like fish, and in the center, near this like small pond that's in the middle of this courtyard, is actually a large ice sculpture of the seahorse, your father's main ship.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is, as people approach it, and you see like a small crowd, people will approach it with a empty glass, and you look, and suddenly out of the ice cannons, little like some sort of liquid will shoot out and land in their cups.
Like an ice luge.
Yeah, basically.
But magical.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Okay. So what would you like to do at the party?
I'm just writing ice sculpture. Awesome.
I do try from time to time.
All capitals. Awesome. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Do I see Charles?
You do. He is surrounded, of course, as he always is, with a bunch of people, and he's like, "Oh, there she is, the glorious jewel of the sea, and, of course, her lovely sister and my future business associate." And he says that last part, like, kind of loudly, so that everyone can hear. He's like, "How are you, Estelia?"
Very well. Thank you for hosting this wonderful party.
Well, thank you for returning home. We have all missed you so much.
I put on this air of, like, calm and strong. Like, calm and strong. Calmness and strength.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Because that's what Dad wanted.
And he goes, "And who is this strapping fellow?" And he points to Teef. And Kieran's just kind of like...
Well, I have this is Teef. He will be accompanying me tonight. He is a representative of the kobolds from, do I know the name of the island?
Nope, it was basically
from
just...
an island where I was away with.
You lived on... For the last 6 years, you've been living with kobolds?
Not with them, on another island. But we passed them on the way back, and he came to join us and learn about our culture. And then this is Kieran. This is my sister's escort for the night.
And he goes, "Oh, why, Nalani, you never mentioned that you had a special someone in your life. This changes everything." And there's a little bit of like polite laughter, and you get the sense that Charles has definitely been pushing this narrative that he's, kind of trying to build a relationship with Nalani. And Nalani's like, "Oh no, Charles. He is just a close member of the house. Nothing more. Trust me." And she gives a polite smile back.
Okay.
And he's like, "And of course, Ellie, of course you, wherever Estelia goes, you couldn't be far behind. I heard that you had joined, I see that you're wearing the robes of the Cold Lord. Fun." And she's just like, "Well, all four of the lords, all four of the gods need represented, even the Cold Lord." And she kind of smiles, and she doesn't really know what to say to Charles, at all. She's like, "Uh-huh." And there's a little bit of an awkward silence, and he's like, "Well, make yourself at home. Test some of the seahorse's artillery, if you will."
Now, Charles, have I ever been at this house?
No. I actually when I returned to Ulfross, I decided to live here instead of the farm. Just felt more appropriate. So I've been making some changes here or there. I would love to give you the grand tour.
That would be wonderful. We can catch up.
Oh, I would love nothing more.
Beautiful. And I just take his arm, just assuming that we're heading out. Teef, follow closely behind.
And then Teef kind of salutes and goes to attention. He proceeds to give you a tour of the first floor only. And you notice that the second floor appears to be guarded by 2 guards.
When we pass the staircases, and we're like, have you made any renovations up above?
Oh no, that's still in process. It's not really guest ready yet.
Oh, I'm not really a guest. You wanted to show me all the renovations. Let's go see. Wouldn't that be fun?
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh. Okay. Persuasion 19.
He kind of thinks for a second, and he's like, "Oh, I guess something quick."
Yay!
Okay, so
It's been so long since I've seen you. Just a few more minutes with you is wonderful.
So he takes you up to the second floor. The 2 guards follow closely behind.
Okay.
You notice, so when you walk up the second floor, give me a quick perception check.
We'll use this one. Nope, we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one. Natural 19 plus 2, 21.
So as you walk up, you do notice that there does appear to be a window that has been left slightly ajar in the hallway. There is probably about... He kind of just points out, he's like, oh, and that is a ballroom, or that is a guest room, and that is a guest room, and that is my room. But don't worry, that of course is a private room. I would never.
What have you done in the guest rooms?
Oh, nothing. And he's just like, and he kind of opens one up, and it's just.
I take a few steps in and just marvel at the
It's
size
literally
of it.
just a plain bedroom.
It's still nicer than my bedroom.
No, it's about the same.
Oh, this is very similar to my bedroom.
So you close it, and there is 2 rooms that do not appear to be bedrooms. One, he doesn't even point out. He just you guys pass by. The other one is a gallery, and he does seem to kind of linger at that one just a bit. He's like, and as you know, one of my passions has always been painting. So he shows you the gallery. Now there's a couple of interesting things that you notice there.
Okay.
One second. The gallery contains there appears to be a portrait of what you of course affectionately refer to as the Bastards Club as children. Interestingly enough, you are strangely prominent in the portrait. There's about 7 of you that are in there, but you are front and center of whatever this fictional portrait was. But it is as he remembers you as kids. You see a portrait of the spire, which just stretches, and it's this very long and tall and thin portrait, and it goes from ceiling all the way down to the floor, and it shows the spire with the light, very ornately. You can see the very ornate carvings in the bottom and the various runes and stuff as they just stretch to the heavens. The final portrait is a little bit of an odd one. It's a dark forest at sunset. You don't see the sacred flame anywhere in it. So maybe it's one of the forests that line the eastern and western edges of Erde. But as you kind of look, at first it just appears to be a dark forest, but you think you see would appear to be 2 glowing orange eyes in it.
Okay.
And so you kind of look around for a little bit, and Charles is like, well, we probably should be getting back to the party. I don't want anyone to, get any ideas.
That's why Tifa is accompanying us.
He's like, well... He's like, yes, of course.
We're old friends.
We are, and he's like, well, come on, let's go back. We can head back downstairs and talk.
Okay.
So you head back down. And you make small talk. Is there anything in particular you'd like to talk about?
Local weather.
Okay.
That's small talk.
Yep, okay. Fair enough.
how wonderful the food is,
Mm-hmm.
how wonderful the ice luge is, what a gracious host he is being, how happy I am to be back in the city.
Okay.
I think that's about it. That's a lot of common small talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he engages in all the proper social protocols.
Beautiful.
What else would you like to do? Eventually, he kind of excuses himself to go and make another round with the guests.
I will... You said there are guards outside?
There are a few guards outside.
Okay,
yes.
were there any gardens outside? Or just kind of plants here and there?
The plants here and there. I mean, it would be possible for you to sneak around.
Oh, I would like, before he excuses himself, I wanted to ask him about the tropical trees.
Oh, and he kind of bends over and he points, and there's a glowing red stone behind each of them. He's like, "Don't worry, these things will never get cold."
Wow, that's very interesting.
And expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Very expensive, but it was worth it. He's like, "Just wait until they bloom in the middle of winter."
Will you invite me over to try some?
Of course.
Compare it to its predecessors.
Yes, of course. Whatever you would like, Estelia. It is wonderful to see you.
You as well, Charles. Now I should probably familiarize myself with other people.
Okay. So there are a few notable guests.
Okay.
You do notice a large orc that stands about 6.5 feet tall. He's a few inches taller than everyone else there. He's wearing a very fine suit as well that is also sleeveless. And so you can see his massive arm muscles. And you can recognize him by a symbol on his chest. He is a member of House Tharm, which are the builders. You also see Tharm, Tharm.
Okay.
You also see a wood elf, and they are dressed in the robes of the Sacred Flame, which means that they are a member of House Larth. The other very notable person that you see there, who has probably the largest crowd surrounding them, is this very dashing looking man. He has dark hair, dark skin, and he has a V-neck that comes all the way down to here and shows off just a bit of chest hair, but there's also it's kind of got frills that come out, and he has very frilly shirts, and you kind of actually
Why?
You actually get the sense that looking around, there are several people there who seem to be emulating his style of dress.
Okay. I'll go ask one of the people, not talking to him, but a little further back. Who is this gentleman? I don't recognize him.
Oh, that's Hamlin Flouse.
Oh, what house is he with?
Oh, he's not from my house. He's not. He's actually a foreigner. He came from across the Great Sea.
What port did he come through? I don't remember seeing that in the logs because I'm helping my family now.
Oh, yes, Estelia, of course,
Yes.
Of course. I actually don't know what. I would have no idea about that. You'd have to ask him.
Okay. I'll go meander around, talk a little bit to each of the orc and the wood elf.
Okay.
Small talk, thank them for coming. Get their names.
Okay. So the orc is named Kogan.
Kogan?
Mm-hmm. He has a very deep voice and is very...
K or C?
K. And he's very well spoken. And he makes small talk. He introduces you to his husband, Todrick, who appears to be a little bit tipsy on ice sculpture juice. He does make a point to note he recognizes you, and he points out that should you ever need assistance in the south, to simply call upon him.
Well, thank you, Krogan? Kogan. Thank you, Kogan. I do appreciate it. And it was lovely to meet you, Todrick.
And he's like, he's
Lovely.
like, the boat, it shoots alcohol into my mouth.
I'm sure it tastes wonderful.
And Kogan's just like,
It was a pleasure to meet you both, and I look forward to working with you both in the future.
okay. The wood elf is named Tremulane. They kind of like they seem to be there only for the purposes of being there. They seem very awkward and not too thrilled to be there, but you get the sense that the House Larth wanted to send a representative, and the House...
They shoot the short straw?
Yes, they did draw the short straw.
Okay. Well, I will thank them for coming, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your time here with us.
No, I look forward to getting back to the Spire.
I'm sure you do. Nothing's like home.
Okay.
Okay, and then I will go approach the guy.
Hamlin.
Yeah.
So Hamlin, as you approach, he literally parts the crowd and starts striding to you, and he's like, and
I'm going to look at him like, yes?
You must be Estelia, the reason we are all here. And
I am Estelia.
Takes your hand and gently kisses it while making lingering eye contact at you. It's like, it is a pleasure. I am Hamlin Flaus.
Well, Hamlin, it is a pleasure to meet you as well. I don't recognize you. Have we met before?
Oh, no, I just arrived in the city.
Oh, where from?
I come from across the Great Sea, from the Great Continent, a country you probably haven't heard of.
Oh, my family runs the ports, so I've seen many names. Would it be one that I'd recognize?
I just said you probably wouldn't. And he smiles. And he's like, I have been traveling long and far, and I have finally come to Erde in search of something, and I may have just found it looking at you.
And what would that be?
And he kind of just smiles. And there's like a little bit of an awkward pause, and he's just like holding your hand, and he's smiling. It's like, we must get dinner sometime.
We can look at the calendars and see when I'm not busy working on the house information.
And like as you say that, Nalani kind of approaches you. He's like, "Oh, Hamlin, it is so wonderful to see you." And he's like, "Nalani, I was just talking to your lovely sister." And Nalani's like, "Yes, this is my half sister." And she's like, "Oh, Estelia, Hamlin is very new here, and I have been in contact with him because we, since he's from overseas, House Olafaren would love to establish a professional relationship with him." She kind of gives you like a look like, "Don't fuck this up."
I understand. That would be very beneficial to the whole house and to the whole country.
Oh, yes.
Well, Hamlin, it is an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I'm sure I will be seeing you around. What was it that brought you into town?
I told you, I'm in search of something.
Oh, so you're just traveling the world.
Exactly.
That sounds wonderful. I recently got back, as you can see from my welcome home party.
We will need to talk more about that. I would love to compare travel notes.
Well, I think your travel might have been much more exciting than mine.
Well, I would love to tell you all about them.
That sounds wonderful. Now, it is a little stuffy in here. Too many people. I'm not used to such parties at this point. May I excuse myself?
Of course.
Okay. And I'm going to go get some air.
Okay.
Nalani, would you be willing to discuss negotiations with Mr. Hamlin at this point?
Nothing would please me more.
Kieran, let's let them talk.
Okay.
And I have asked Kieran and Tifa and Ellie to follow me while we get some fresh air outside.
Okay.
Get outside. Are there any benches or anywhere to sit outside?
Not really, honestly.
So we're just gonna stroll.
Okay.
Kind of looking at where are guards, where was that open window, all that jazz.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, 9 plus 2.
Okay.
Oh, 11.
You do see the window. The guards don't seem to be moving with any pattern that you can recognize, not with an 11, so you'll probably just need to have to try to stealth it. Okay. And just hope that you're being inconspicuous enough, if that's how you're going to try to get up there.
Yeah, let's try to just act like we're on a stroll.
Okay.
Cool. And we'll wander over in the direction of the window.
Okay.
I don't know what I have. Sorry, guys. Inventory. Got lots of daggers.
So many.
I don't have much. It didn't add.
Do you need rope?
Yeah.
You have rope.
Usually when you add, like, the adventuring pack, it has stuff like that in it.
I don't know if you actually added that in there. I didn't see it on your inventory.
Oops. We'll figure that out after today.
You have rope.
Okay. I'll figure out where that adventuring pack is. So, Teef, how good of a climber are you?
Teef is a very good climber.
Oh, wonderful. You're small and you're wearing black.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
Roll a d20.
Oh, for me? Or for him?
For him.
18.
18. So
Plus.
23.
Woo!
So he scrambles up. Do you want him to stealth as well?
Yes, please.
Give me another d20 roll.
Natural 17.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. By the way, there is Teef's character sheet. Here's Kieran's character sheet.
Is that something I keep or that you keep?
Yeah, you keep them.
Oh.
You're running them unless it's in combat. Are we in combat right now, Darcie?
No.
So he scrambles up, very acrobatic as he does so. Just scrambles up the wall like it's nothing. Climbs in the window, and a second later the rope comes down.
Beautiful. So, shall we?
Okay. Give me 3 stealth checks, 1 for each of you. Give yourself you go first, or just tell me who's.
I'll go first.
I'll
That's
trust
fine.
you.
Stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 16? Yeah, 16 plus 3.
Okay.
Kieran. So 14 plus.
Okay. It's stealth is what, a dexterity check, I believe. Yep, it's dexterity, so add his dexterity bonus.
16 plus 1.
Okay.
So 14 plus 1.
Okay.
15. And I have Ellie left?
Yeah.
I didn't like that look. Ellie has an 18.
Okay.
Plus.
Jesus. Apparently you guys are all
1.
very stealthy, considering you're the only one who's... Both you and Teef are actually pretty stealthy. But you all managed to climb inside.
Woo! I'm sweating.
Where would you like to go?
Not just because this room is hot. I think I would like to... Are there any guards wandering up here, actually?
Not that you can see. It appears that they're simply trying to keep people out by cutting them off on the second floor.
Okay. I want to make sure the window looks like the same that it was.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
And then I want to, I think, head towards Charles's bedroom first.
Okay. So the door is unlocked.
Beautiful.
And you enter Charles's bedroom. The most notable thing in there is a half-finished portrait of Nalani.
Oh.
It's appears once again to be made from memory, as some of the features are a bit wrong, and Nalani is a bit more well endowed in the portrait than she is in real life. You also notice a framed rose, like a pressed and framed rose, and that is actually another reference to a particularly fond encounter that the Bastards Club had back in their childhood. You can give me a quick perception check to see if you can find anything else.
Perception 13 plus 2.
Okay, unfortunately,
15.
You don't really see anything of note. He doesn't appear to work out of this room, so this just appears to be an actual bedroom.
Personal bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll go to the mysterious room next.
Okay, it does appear to be locked.
Okay. Sorry guys. And that's sleight of hand.
So if you want to make you can use your thieves tools.
Yeah.
So just go and roll a
It's
d20.
doubled for any ability check. So your proficiency bonus is doubled.
Yep.
So roll a d20.
And add your proficiency bonus twice and add your dexterity modifier.
Ooh. So where proficiency bonus is twice.
Yep.
So that's 2, 4, and dexterity 7, 18.
Okay, yeah. So you unlock the door, but before you can step forward, Teef actually holds his little hand out in front of you, and he goes and he points down, and you notice that one of his claws is actually glowing a faint blue. And he goes, "A trap!" And he goes and... Yep, he goes and disables it. And kind of so you notice that you see a thin silver wire that is stretched across, and with this claw that continues to glow blue, he quietly plucks it, and after he plucks it, the claw returns to its normal color.
That's nifty.
He's like,
"Thank you.
A gift from the dragon god."
Oh. Okay.
So you guys enter, and this appears to be a library. There are hundreds of books lining the walls. However, that's not the most notable thing in here. On a large wooden desk is sitting on a cushion appears to be a large egg.
Okay. Just an egg?
Very large.
Is there anything else going on in here?
Nope, just this egg that appears to be a dull black, and as you enter, Teef just goes,
"What is it, Teef?"
"Dragon egg," as he whispers.
Could this be the weapon?
And Ellie's like, "What in God's name is a dragon egg doing inside of Erde?"
Would it fit within a 3x3?
Oh yeah, you can put it in your bag of holding.
Take it, and I put it in my bag of holding.
Okay, as you put it in the bag of holding, suddenly you hear thump, thump. You turn around, and both Ellie and Teef are just laying on the ground. Kieran is kind of looking.
Shit, there was a trap and I didn't do.
And standing there with his ceremonial blade drawn is a drow figure standing, and he has closed the doors. And he has his dagger drawn. And he's staring at you. He's like, "Shouldn't have come up here, girl."
Oh, I was just exploring.
He's like, "Well, we have two options. Either you place the egg back."
While my hand is still, as I'm putting the egg in, I'm gonna grab the stone and pull it out and just start talking.
Mm-hmm.
While we're talking.
And he's like, "Two options." And he's kind of twirling the knife dangerously, and kind of there's a little flash of his hand, and suddenly he has another knife out.
I'm going to say out loud, you know, this second floor, it was just so beautiful when Charles brought me up. And I realized that I didn't ask him about this room.
Don't play coy with me. I saw you last night. And he crouches down, and Kieran looks back. And Kieran like looks over to you, and he's like, "Sword now."
Sword over to him.
Roll initiative.
Oh, God.
Before you do that, roll a d4.
Okay.
Let's see who's controlling whom.
D4.
Is it above a 1?
Nope.
Okay.
It's a 1.
I will take
It's
Kieran's.
a 1. Oh, good. And Teef and Ellie are out.
Yep, Teef and Ellie are both
Are
knocked
they
out.
bleeding?
What?
Are they bleeding?
Nope, it's,
Okay.
they both appear to be...
Cool.
If you recall, the people on the boat also suddenly fell asleep. Okay, roll initiative.
Okie dokie. Dwarven Forge dice it is. Nope.
What'd you get?
5 plus 3. 8.
Yikes. Okay.
Not gonna use that dice tonight. Sorry, Nate.
Okay, so the drow goes first. He rushes forward as you throw the sword. Kieran just has time to draw it, and he engages with Kieran. Makes 2 hits, and that is going to be 2 hits on him. Oof. Let's see what happens. Kieran goes down. Kieran goes down. Just gets clonked. He's out.
How fast do these speaking stones work?
You'll find out. So just with like 2 slashes before Kieran can fully draw his sword, the drow's there. You see like 2 like slashes of red blood come down, and Kieran just goes down, clutching his chest. You're up.
So I will pull my sickles.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, how far away is he?
He's within 10 feet of you.
So I can step up and swipe.
Mm-hmm. Also, don't forget that you have your ceremonial dagger as well.
Yeah, I don't want to... I guess it doesn't really matter if he knows if I take him out, but I don't know if I'll take him out. We didn't put that in my attacks either.
No, I haven't had a chance to figure it out.
Okay. What is it a plus? Is it just like my plus 5 for my sickles?
Yeah.
Okay. And it just does 1d4?
Yeah, it does 1d4 instead of 1d6 like in Pathfinder.
Oh. Sickles, don't they usually do 1d6?
Not in 5e.
Oh, shoot. Cool, guys. Conversions. So let's do hand 1, hand 2. Second hand is going to be, offhand's going to be the ceremonial dagger.
Okay.
So as I pull it out, mist starts enveloping the area, creating a 10-foot radius.
Mm-hmm. So thick mist immediately just starts to pour out of both the blade and the like its little scabbard, and just starts filling up the room immediately.
Okay. First hand with a sickle.
And you also have advantage on this attack now.
So this offhand, I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, that would
First
definitely
hand.
hit.
Oh, I got like an 11.
Okay.
So it's a 11 plus 5 for
So
the first hand,
both
so
will
16.
Hit. So unfortunately, since the first attack hits, you will not get sneak attack bonus on their critical. You only get 1 crit per round in 5.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll let you tell me how that works. Here's my d4s.
So roll d4 and an extra d6. So you will get a total of 3d4.
Yeah. Why did you say a d6?
Because it's sneak attack, because you made it with advantage.
So 3d4?
3d4 and a d6.
Oh, okay. I've got to remember all these new rules. So we have 4, 5, 9, plus 3, plus 12, plus 14, 15, 18?
Very nice. So with 18 points of
Math.
damage, you go, and as the mist just starts to spray out, you quickly duck behind, like underneath his like outstretched blades. You slash up and you jam your first knife. You slash him across like the shoulder with the first, and then you jam the knife right into his armpit with the second one, and you spin around behind him. He will go and he blindly slashes at you, and with disadvantage, natural 3 and a natural 2 on the first roll, and a natural 5 on the second one. Both of those miss. As he staggers around blindly, he will also then go. He shouts out, 2 can play at this game, and he will cast darkness.
Oh. So we're literally both of us can't see a damn thing.
Yep. So you can make straight rolls because it would be with advantage, and now it's with disadvantage. So just give me 2 straight attack rolls as you go in.
First hand. Second hand. So the first hand was only an 8 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Second hand is a 16 to hit.
The second one does hit.
So it's a d4.
And that's it.
Okay. 1.
Okay. He will make a concentration check. And he failed. So you managed to do just a little bit of damage. So d4, and what's your d4 plus 3, right?
3, yeah.
So, okay, he's starting to look pretty hurt, but the darkness does dispel, just leaving the heavy mist a second later.
So he gets disadvantage again?
Mm-hmm. That actually,
AC of 13.
that will hit then. And the second one misses. So you take 5 points of piercing damage. As you're nimbly just dodging his like blind swipes, but he just sees you moving through this thick mist and just goes and jams you, and you feel your armor manages to get your the leather armor underneath your dress appears to have absorbed the blow of it, but you can feel like warmth starting to spread across your abs. Okay, what are you doing? Also,
I'm gonna do what?
nothing.
Oh, I'm gonna give Kieran a healing potion.
Okay. So that's an action.
Yep.
Which is probably good.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
5 plus 2, 7.
Okay. Good to know.
And they're Ellie and Teef don't have any damage. They're just asleep.
They're just asleep.
Okay.
So next up is the drow.
Yep.
He will take 2 attacks. Killing me.
I hope so.
Both of them miss. As he's still just kind of slashing around in the dark. Kieran gets up and he's like, what the hell? And he's like looking around. He will make a attack. Swings out his long sword with disadvantage. He also can't see. However, that also misses.
Okay. I am going to strike again.
Okay, and now that both of you are engaged, you do have advantage on this attack. Well, you had advantage before, so.
Yeah. Oh, but I get sneak. No, that's.
Yeah, you do get.
I do.
Well, you get sneak attack because you have advantage.
Okay, so first hand, 14 plus.
Yes.
5. I'll roll it again to see if I get natural 20. No, first hand was a 14 plus 5, Second hand is a 12 plus 5. So
Both those will
yeah.
hit.
So 2d4 and a d6.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. He is in really bad shape.
Oh,
and so
he's still up though.
he will go and use his action to disengage. And kind of stumbles around, and he grabs. You see him go and kind of grope around, and let's see if okay. You can see he suddenly grabs Ellie as she's on the ground, and she just grabs him, and he kind of like pulls her up, and Ellie's like starts to come to as like the sleep starts to wear off, and suddenly like he's got a dagger to her neck, and he's like we can do this one of two ways, girl. It's like either you lose your friend or I leave with that egg. What are you gonna do? And he's like, this girl will be enough to get me safe passage out of here. The vitals don't need me anymore anyways. And he's slowly starting to make his way.
You can have the egg.
It's like, good. And he's kind of, bring it over.
Okay, I walk over to him.
Shit.
He can't see.
He can kind of see. It's a thick mess, but he can see shadows. Okay, what are you doing?
I want to take my ceremonial dagger.
Okay.
With one hand, I want to grab his hand that's holding the blade.
Okay.
And the other one, I want to jab into his neck.
Okay. Give me,
Please. My hands are sweating so bad. Ooh.
Give me a straight dexterity roll.
So it's just a d20 plus my dexterity modifier. Which 20 do I use? Let's use this one. Come on. Oh, what do you think?
No, that's definitely not in the... Go ahead, re-roll. Oh, wait, that's...
It was right there. But it was like partially.
Is
like,
it... Can a D4 stick on it?
Let's look. Of course I touched it.
Okay.
Okay. Whew! Plus 3, 21.
Okay. Now give me an attack roll.
Oh, God. $20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes!
Okay.
Ellie's awake. Do I get stealth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Plus 1d4.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus 2 plus 3.
Okay. So
8.
you go
yeah.
and you suddenly like reach your hand and you go and you grab his hand that he has reached around Ellie. And you just like kind of like pull it away and squeeze it. And as you like turn around before he can really react, suddenly you just jam your ceremonial dagger in the knife and just blood starts spurting out, and he just goes down gurgling for a second, and then he lays still. And Ellie's like, what? Oh, okay. Oh, should I heal?
No.
Do we need to get out of here?
Yes.
Okay, and so...
While we're still in a quick mist, I want to loot the body.
Okay. You find 55 pieces of gold.
Okay.
Also, you find some sort of strange pendant. Appears to be made of stone. Like a flat stone.
Okay.
So, what are you doing? Are you leaving the room? Are you...
Yeah, we're going to get out of here and return to the party.
Alright, so you go to drag Teef and start waking him up. As you walk out, or like start to like look inconspicuous and make your way into the hallway, there is like Niflhelde and her dwarf companion, and both of them have their crossbows drawn at you.
We're good now.
She's like, did you find the weapon?
I couldn't find a weapon.
What did you find?
I found an egg.
She's like, They both have their crossbows drawn at you still. And you just kind of like see her giving you a kind of a strange look.
But that's it. You can go check. I did take the guy down, though, somehow. I don't think he expected me to have basic, like, training.
And you see the dwarf kind of, like, whisper into Niflheld's ear. And she goes, "How big was the egg, Estelia?"
It's about this big. Might be an ostrich egg?
Make a deception check.
Oh, good. I'm already making enemies, guys. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Stealth?
No,
Persuasion? Deception.
Yeah, you're lying to her.
7.
She just stares at you. And she kind of like stares at you for a second.
Put the crossbow down.
Slowly puts the crossbows down.
Okay, can we speak honestly, or are you going to keep pointing crossbows at me?
She's like, "Next time, don't lie to me."
I will keep that in mind. But I also really don't like crossbows being pointed at me.
Well, and I don't like being lied to.
Agree to do better next time.
And like the dwarf's kind of giving her a funny...
Also, you really need to see this really funny portrait in the other room. Just saying. On a side note, it's a big black egg.
She's like, "So it was a dragon egg that your father had."
How come you knew what it was and I didn't? I thought I was looking for, like, a magical weapon.
She kind of shrugs and she's like, "That's you and your father's business."
Well,
and she's like, and the dwarf kind of like, the other dwarf kind of brushes past her and he's like, "Yeah, there's a body in here." And she's like, "Well, and a lot of blood."
Basic training.
And then he's like, "We need to leave now."
That's where we're headed.
And so
We'll peek out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure no one's, like, right there.
Okay.
Tifa's small enough that we could probably...
He's come to by this point.
Oh, okay. Let's get down and get rid of the rope. And just act like we're perusing the garden and headed back in.
Okay. Give me a quick stealth check.
Oh, it was almost a 19. It's a 9 plus 3. 12.
Okay. Doesn't seem like anyone's noticed.
Oh.
However, you did leave a body.
Yep.
And it was a blade that you left behind. And there's rules about those things.
Oh, he was a blade?
He had a ceremonial dagger.
Oh. True. Cool.
So what are you gonna do?
Are we, like, bloody?
You did stab a dude in the jugular.
Yeah,
You're the nurse. How does that usually work?
Not well. I'm gonna ask Ellie to go in and retrieve our cloaks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because she's probably the least... Well, no, she's probably the most bloody.
Yeah.
I'll ask T for someone to go
Tifa's
retrieve.
the only one. Like, Kieran, his front is all slashed up.
Yeah.
So Tifa kind of goes and, like, struts in. And a couple minutes later, Tifa comes out with the cloaks and Nalani. And, like, Nalani is, like, rushing over. And she's like, "Is everyone okay?" She's like,
Yes,
"Oh, my God."
course.
And, like, there's, like, blood spattered across your, like... You know, like, Ellie's, like, hand, like, face is, like, splattered in blood, and you see, like, Kieran's shirt's all bloodied up. And you guys are all kind of, like, trying to look conspicuous, and there's, like, Niflhelda and the dwarf companion trying to look out. And she's like, "Niflhelda, Estelia, what happened?"
Let's go.
"Yes, immediately." And Niflhelda's like, "Me and you are going to have a conversation later."
I'm still figuring this out. But yes, we can talk later.
And she kind of gives you a
Will you find me,
look.
or should I come find you?
"We will talk."
Okay.
She just gives you a look, and, like, kind of as your carriage is, like, brought up, and you guys all kind of, like, hurriedly, like, tried, like, at this point in time, you guys got the cloaks on. You don't look like the most... You're trying to rush out of there, as quickly as you can. So how stealthy are you trying to be?
We're trying to just look like we're just waiting for our carriage.
Covered in blood.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check with disadvantage.
10 plus 3. 13.
All right, you get into the carriage. No one stops you, at least. God. So you get home. You guys are back. So, and this time Teef is sitting on your lap, and he's just like, "Did we kill them?"
Yes.
Very good. I was very tired.
Yes, it's okay. You did well. Good job.
And so Nalani's like, "So did you find it?"
What is it, Nalani? I feel like someone should have told me what I was looking for before I ended up here.
Well, let us just say the less people who knows that House Olafaren has a dragon egg, the better.
Well, now we do have it. So, I guess we should get Jarl and Father and... Tarl and Father and meet and talk about this tonight.
Okay. So you arrive home. Tarl is actually waiting for you, as is Assos, and Assos is like you, and immediately rushes over to you and is like, "You are covered in blood. Are you okay?"
I'm fine.
And she's like Ellie's kind of pointing down at your dress, and there's a growing red stain from where you got stabbed.
Maybe I'm not fine.
Ellie kind of reaches over. She's like, "It's okay. It's okay." And she starts patting it, and you get... yeah, you're actually fully healed.
I got 5?
Yep.
Beautiful. I feel so much better, Ellie. Thank you.
And Tarl's like, so when I was told that you were returning here covered in blood, please tell me you have it.
I do. Should we go somewhere a little bit more inside the house?
And he doesn't say a word, and he just immediately starts moving towards the house, and
cool.
He accompanies you. You guys go up to your father's office, and he's just kind of sitting there. He's like, "Well, let's see it."
I'm going to pull it out and set it on the table.
And Assos looks very proud of you at this moment, and he's like, "I told you, Tarl, that she could do it, and I told you this is why she should be its caretaker." And Tarl's like, "I do not like this one bit." And she's like, "One day she will have your position, and when that time comes, the guard of House Olafaren should control its most powerful weapon."
Does this mean I'm getting a dragon? Yeah? I'll take that as a yeah?
I told you we were keeping the Estelia story going.
Okay.
So, he's like, "We shall discuss its care more in the morning. Why don't all of you get a well-deserved rest?" And he goes, it's like, "And Estelia, by the way, I did as you requested. Your room can now be found on the 3rd floor."
I look at Nalani and nod.
And Nalani's just like, "Well, as the one person who's not covered in blood," and Teef's kind of like, "I'm not covered in blood at all. Should I be?"
Good job, Teef.
It's like, Teef's just kind of like...
Someone had to retrieve the rest of our cloaks and belongings.
And Kieran's just kind of like, "Come on, Teef, let's go and take a bath." And Teef's like, "No! No! No!"
Just get cleaned up.
It's like the two of them just are
get
getting
cleaned up.
escorted away.
Oh, Teef.
So, you take your dragon egg.
Okay.
And you head up to the 3rd story, to what was once your mother's room. Your things have been put inside. You place the egg down, and you note that standing in the room as you walk in And you kind of like put the egg down, put your things down, and you just notice that out of the corner of your eye there's now a figure standing there. And you turn around and it is a figure covered with a silver robe that conceals all of their features, with a mask that covers their face, with one eye slit, with a red triangle painted underneath it.
So white robes?
It's a silver robe and cloak,
So-
and they're wearing a white mask with a single eye slit in it. And the figure speaks to you, and it says, "You did well tonight. Can't make out the person is male or female or otherwise. What if I told you that there are hidden forces moving against Urde, even as we speak? What if I told you that those forces were the ones responsible for your mother's death?" And that's where we're going to end tonight. Okay.
Oh.
Well, thank you for joining us for our second episode. You can follow
My pulse is going really fast.
Dungeon Date at Dungeon Date on Twitter. You can also find us on YouTube. At Christian Hoffer is where the YouTube channel is at. And of course, you can find us on twitch.tv/Dungeon Date. Please like, subscribe, do all those things that you would usually do. Every little bit helps. So, go ahead.
So make sure that the Dungeon Date is Dungeon space capital D8.
No, it's all one word. So it's just at Dungeon Date.
Dungeon capital D8. Not the full word date. You can follow me on Twitter at dhoffer90.
And I am at CHofferCBus.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.